All right, well, why don't we go ahead and get started? I want to introduce myself. My name is Caleb Jennings. I'm with the CAMS Jennings Group of Compass Mortgage. And I want to introduce you to my partner, John.
Hello, I'm John. I'm with Compass Mortgage as well.
And I also want to say today is John's birthday. So I'd like to wish John a happy birthday. How old are you, John?
21. I'm going out tonight.
Every year he's 21. It's amazing. It's like it's the perpetual 21-year-old. No, but seriously, happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
Pretty exciting. And John, where are you at right now? Where are you located?
I'm in the Chicago office off of Morgan and Washington in the West Loop of Chicago.
So John's at our office. I'm at my home office here in Logan Square. So we're trying our new webinar Wednesday. We're going to be doing this once a month on different topics. So this month we're talking about 3 reasons why you may want to refinance right now. I'm sure you're tuning in because you're interested, and I'm sure you've been hearing a lot about refinances, how interest rates have been low, all this. There's a lot in the media and the news, and there's a lot of confusion about it as well. So really what we wanted to do is have a conversation about 3 reasons why you may want to refinance now. 1 would be to save money, 2 to pay off debt, and 3 to get rid of private mortgage insurance. So we're gonna really kick it off here. I thought to start it out, the most common reason why folks talk about refinancing is saving money. So John, what are ways that folks could save money with refinance?
Yeah, so there's a multitude of ways, but the most common ways would be a reduction in the current interest rate. So you being at 3.875 and refinancing to 2.875 or whatever the lower interest rate is. And then also the other way to save money would be to shorten the term and pay it off sooner. So going from a 30-year mortgage to a 20-year mortgage. And oftentimes in today's market, you can actually do both if you wanted. You could shorten the term and lower the interest rate. So.
Okay, so there's that. And then have you been seeing, just for our clients that we've had, have you been seeing, what kind of savings have you been seeing on interest rates, like when folks reduce their rates?
Yeah, so it just really depends, but I think, or I know a simple way to do it is just to take whatever the reduction is in the interest rate and times by the loan amount. So if you have a $400,000 loan and you reduce your interest rate by a full percentage, that's $4,000 a year, and that's $333 a month that you would save over the life of the loan. Oftentimes, if you lower the term, the rates are so low, and I've had a lot of clients lately that have still been able to lower their term and lower their payment. But the more you lower the term, the more you eat into the potential monthly savings, but you would save on interest over the life.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is that I know that clients that we're helping out right now are saving thousands and thousands of dollars on interest, which has been pretty awesome. Another way that folks have been taking advantage of these low interest rates right now is they've been paying off bad debt or higher interest rate debt by doing a cash out refinance. So if you currently own a home and you have some equity in the home, the good news is that you can leverage that equity to then pay off that credit card that's way many folks have high interest rate credit cards that are like 20% interest rate, crazy stuff like that. But anything like that, or student loan debt, or a car debt, I mean, right now rates are so low that you can really take advantage of the fact that you're a homeowner, leverage that, and ultimately potentially save thousands of dollars in bad debt. We're helping a lot of folks do that every day. And then the other thing we always hear about is that pesky mortgage insurance. John, you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So PMI is really, if you're over, when you originally got the mortgage, either when you bought or if you refinanced and you were over 80% of the value of the property, you most likely do have what they call PMI, also known as mortgage or private mortgage insurance. So a lot of people think that technically, it just depends on your servicer, but there is you can Google stuff and people will say, oh, well, you can, when your house appreciates, have the servicer remove the PMI. But more often than not, if you read your note, it says that the servicer is not obligated to remove your PMI until you're at 78% of the value. So one thing to keep in mind is that if you put in writing, so if you if you had a mortgage for, keep it simple, 100,000, if you put down 20%, then you wouldn't have PMI. But if you only put down 5% and paid down the loan to 80,000, they would not remove that PMI until you put something in writing. So they would remove it when it hits 78,000, which I think is like on average a year more that you would pay it. But if what happens more often than not is you people look at their mortgage and they say, well, heck, I'm at 23875 now, and I can go to 2875, and then, oh my gosh, I got the appraisal and I can remove the PMI. So more often than not, people remove the mortgage insurance through a refinance versus trying to pay it down. But it can be done both ways.
Yeah, and I think John and I were kind of joking about this today because the topic is like three reasons why you might want to refinance, and the first one's save money by lowering your interest rate or shortening the term of your loan, and the other, all of these in fact are ways to save money. I mean, that's the fact. We were kind of laughing about that, like, but the fact is that we are helping clients every day being able to do maybe one of those three things. Some are doing two of those three things. Some are even doing three of those three things. And so we want to be able to help you do that as well. I thought we would open it up for any questions. We have a little chat bot down here where you could put questions in. And Jessica said she would help us facilitate with that. So we're going to see if there's any questions. If you have a question, please shoot us one. And we'll go from there.
Okay, hey guys. So first question here that's coming in, how much would it cost to refinance and how is that paid?
John, you want to grab that one? How much does it cost to refinance?
Sure. So when you refinance, there's really in the state of Illinois, it does vary state to state, but in the state of Illinois, it would be about $2,500, and usually that's rolled into the loan. You can opt to pay it out of your pocket, or we do have options where you don't actually have to pay it out of your pocket. But in the state of Illinois, it's about $2,500.
Okay, and John, just to piggyback on that, John, how do you pay for that? Like, how, if I'm going to refinance, how do I pay? Do I have to bring $2,500 to the table? How does that work?
No, so I'll use the $100,000 example. So you have a $100,000 mortgage and the property is worth $150,000. We would pay off your current $100,000 mortgage and give you a loan for $102,500. So it wouldn't come out of your pocket. It would be financed into the new loan, usually. But you can opt some people are particular about their loan and paying their mortgage off and would want to bring it to the table. So you could do that as well, and we can give you options on that.
Awesome. So yeah, they have a choice ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And would you be able to demonstrate that bringing $2,500 to the table would be better than saving money over the life of the loan in order to refinance?
Yeah, we could give them options or really break it down on both. Usually, I'm from the school of, if you're getting a sub 3% mortgage interest rate, and I guess this is a good segue, is that like we view the mortgage as a financial tool and not just like something to get and then pay off. So an example of a financial tool would be, okay, well, I'm not maxing out my 401k. So I can do one of two things. I can take $2,500 and pay closing costs to refinance, or I could take that $2,500 and put it in my 401k for 30 years. And if you're paying a sub 3% interest rate on the mortgage, you should easily be able to outpace a 3% rate of return over 30 years in your 401k. But yeah, we could ultimately provide you with both options and show you that, okay, if you were to bring the money to the table, your payment's going to be $10 less than if you were to finance it into the mortgage.
Okay. And we have someone asking if you could quickly go back over the 3 top reasons to refinance just one more time, just those key bullet points that you had mentioned.
Sure. I mean, it really all revolves around saving money. But our things were, you can save money just off of what they call a rate and term refinance, where you could lower the rate or the term. The second one would be to consolidate debt. So you have high interest credit card debt, you have other things that you can consolidate in that will ultimately, like average rate on a credit card, I think is 18%. So if you can consolidate that into a sub 3% mortgage, that's one way to save. That's another way to save money. And then the third way would be, or the third reason would be to remove PMI. But ultimately, they're all about saving money is really what it comes down to.
Sure. Caleb, were you trying to jump in on that? Or?
No, he nailed it.
What does the process look like? How long does it take for refinance?
I mean, that's a very good question, because right now, you folks may have heard, or we can attest to, that we're getting inundated with refinances because interest rates are at historic lows. Everyone wants to refinance right now. And it's almost thinking about, remember back in March when COVID hit and everyone wanted toilet paper? It got a little crazy. So it's a little bit similar like that right now, where if you want to refinance, we call it hurry up and wait, because what we're going to do is we're going to work with you to get you a mortgage assessment, look at how much cost savings you could do with refinancing. And then if you decide that you want to go forward, we're then going to submit your file to underwriting. We're going to collect all your documentation and submit that file. Now, the wait in line with the underwriter now is about 90 days. So the good news is, though, is that once you're with us, we're going to secure your interest rate to make sure that you're secure. And basically now you're just in line waiting to get to the official closing table. So short answer is it's about start to finish about 90 days to close on a refinance right now.
Okay, great. Sorry for anyone listening, you might have heard my dog in the background, but what does the process look like to get started then with that?
Yeah, so I mean, really, the process is pretty simple. The first step is that we want to give you a complimentary mortgage review. And what we'll need from you is your name, your phone number, and your email. So you can message us that. For those that are watching the webinar right now, that are on the webinar, we've got your contact information. We can send you a follow-up. For those who are tuning in at a later date, possibly on Facebook or social media, just go ahead and message us your name, your phone number, your email, and then we'll send you an email to follow up to start the process. I also want to say that anyone who mentions this webinar that you heard about refinancing from our webinar, that we're going to give you a $500 discount on your closing costs. So when John at the beginning said costs are around $2,500, we're going to be giving you a $500 credit to discount you for your refinance for mentioning this webinar.
Okay, awesome. And just to make things easy too, I went ahead and threw your email in the chat box for anyone who wanted to promptly reach out. You guys have a quick way to reach out there, but like Caleb said, we also have the ability to send you all a follow-up email, so you're able to reach out from that point as well. Yeah, and just, are there any other questions, Jessica? I was just going to say, I am double checking. It looks like we don't have any other questions rolling in at the current moment. But if anyone else does think of anything, feel free to send those in the chat box. We'll keep monitoring that while we wrap up here. Yeah, and I just want to say to everyone that, you know, if you want, I reiterate, we can give you a complimentary mortgage assessment. Basically, we're going to look at it and we'll tell you, is there any benefit? Or maybe there's not. But I can tell you right now, 9 out of 10 of those who we're talking to are saving a lot of money, and we want to give you an opportunity to save money too and take advantage of this discount of $500 off. Next month, we're going to be doing a webinar on
VA loans. So the month of November is Veterans Day. It's November 11th, and we really think one way to thank a veteran is to educate them and make sure they have the knowledge about VA loans, which is a benefit that they've earned that many don't know that they deserve. So we're going to be focusing on that. I want to wish John a happy birthday again. John, you got anything else to add, or?
I'll just say that don't necessarily listen to what you see online and what your buddy or Uncle Tom says. One of the myths out there is that, oh, it doesn't make any sense to refinance unless I'm saving a full point on my interest rate. And it's just simply not true. If you look at $300,000-$400,000 loan and knocking a half a point off of the interest rate can save you upwards of 30 to thousands and thousands of dollars. So reach out to us. Ultimately, what you get to decide, but look at the numbers and see and make that decision for yourself based on actual numbers, not some rule of thumb you heard on Google, because oftentimes those rule of thumbs are just inaccurate and not necessarily pertinent to you. And then looking at it holistically as well, like not only oftentimes, heck, you could shave a point or shave even 0.25% off your interest rate, but consolidate a bunch of debt. So reach out to us. We'd be happy to do an analysis for you and actually get you real numbers.
Awesome. Any other questions, Jessica, we're seeing?
No, nothing else, Roland. And I was going to say to that point that every situation is unique and different. So, still reaching out to John and Caleb to assess your, unique situation can definitely be helpful for you. So
awesome. All right. Well, we want to thank everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
If you're watching this on social media, go ahead. You could tag a friend who you think could refinance, share the video, spread the word, and we'd be glad to talk to you. So have a great day.
Have a great day.
Hey guys, so sorry. There's one other question that came in.
Oh.
Does it matter? Does it matter if I'm renting property?
Like in what respects?
Well, I mean, I think if they're renting property, if it's an investment property or if it's a primary residence where they live, it could depend on that, on how the loan would be, as if it's investment versus primary.
Okay.
Yeah, I would
John,
say that if it's truly like you're renting the property, like it's an investment property, it doesn't necessarily make a difference. I will say that investment properties do have higher interest rates because the lender wants to be compensated, or the investor, for the higher risk associated with investment property. But if it's like you own a 2-flat and you rent out another one, then it wouldn't necessarily be considered an investment property. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily. And if it's just like, oh, you have like another property that you're renting and you're trying to refinance your primary, then no, that would have no bearing on the primary that you're looking to potentially refinance. So reach out to us. We'll do an analysis and ultimately, give you all the numbers and say, yes, it does, or it doesn't make sense. But there's really no definitive answer without getting more details.
Okay, cool. All right. Sounds good. Thanks, guys. That's it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Take care.